Located in the southwestern Pacific, let us explore the colonial and pre-colonial past of Papua New Guinea. From the Austronesians to German colonization, join us as we uncover the secrets of Papua New Guinea's history and discover its people and its culture. There is little to no archaeological work done in New Guinea to this day. Thus, it is particularly difficult to guess when people started settling the island. However, some theories hold that the island was already populated 60,000 to 50,000 years ago. These settlers might have come from Southeast Asia via land bridges during the last glacial period. Agriculture developed in the region at around 7000 BC in the lowlands. Massive migrations by Austronesian-speaking peoples happened around 500 BC. In the 16th century, European explorers sighted the island. Jorge de Menezes was credited for the discovery in 1527, calling the island Papua, after the Malay word for frizzled hair common amongst Melanesian peoples. Inigo Ortiz de Retes added New Guinea to the name of the island in 1545 because of the inhabitants' resemblance towards those of the African Guinea coast. The first attempts at colonization occurred in 1793 when a British officer, Lieutenant John Hayes, landed near Manokwari, now present-day Papua, Indonesia. The Dutch, however, settled the other half of the island as part of the Dutch East Indies in 1828. Their presence was nominal until the establishment of more permanent posts in 1898. In 1884, the German Empire took over the northeastern quarter of the island under the German New Guinea Company, a chartered trading company. In the charter granted to this company by the German imperial government in May 1885, it was given the power to exercise sovereign rights over the territory and other unoccupied lands in the name of the government, and the ability to negotiate directly with the native inhabitants. In 1899, the German Empire assumed direct control of the territory, now called German New Guinea. After the First World War and the defeat of the Central Powers, Australia took over the German colony in New Guinea. It assumed a mandate from the League of Nations to govern the former German colony in 1920. There were many attempts to explore the island during this time, including the Akmana expedition of 1929 to 1930. This brought about the discovery of new cultures, resources, peoples, and enabled the establishment of newer trade routes. When the Second World War arrived on New Guinea's doorstep, the administration of the island by Australia virtually stopped. This occurred after the Japanese invasions. The Allies sought to recover the territories, and they managed to at the cost of 200,000 Japanese soldiers, 7,000 Australian, and 7,000 American personnel. Following the surrender of the Japanese in 1945, civil administration of Papua as well as New Guinea was restored, and under the Papua New Guinea Provisional Administration Act of 1945-46, Papua and New Guinea were combined in an administrative union. In 1972, the name of the territory was changed to Papua New Guinea. In 1972, an election was held that resulted in the formation of a new ministry headed by Michael Somare, who promised to lead the country to independence and self-government. The country became self-governing on December 1, 1973, and achieved independence on September 16, 1975. The GDP of Papua New Guinea is valued at around $32 billion. A third of the country's GDP is made up of agriculture, most of it from subsistence farming. Yams, taro and bananas are grown as staple foods in the highland regions. Almost all commercial crops are exported, although there is a rise in the domestic crop market. High-quality Arabica coffee is grown throughout the highlands, mostly by smallholders. Robusta coffee is grown on the north coast and cacao in the islands. The The discovery of rare minerals transformed the economy of Papua New Guinea in the 1970s, changing the country's economy from one relying on agriculture to one relying on minerals. Manufacturing output is at a minimal with regards to the country's GDP, despite the attempts of the government to promote it. The flag of Papua New Guinea consists of two diagonal triangular sections. The left section is black and the right section is red. Five-pointed white stars, representing the Southern Cross, are in the black portion of the flag, while a yellow bird of paradise is in the red section. The colors are the traditional colors found in Papua New Guinea textiles and artworks. The yellow bird of paradise represents freedom and the birth of the nation. The 5 stars signify the Southern Cross constellation. It symbolizes the geographical position of the country and its ties to Australia. The capital of Papua New Guinea is Port Moresby. The country has a total land area of around 463,000 square kilometers, or 179,000 square miles. The island is dominated by dense jungles and mountains. Southern New Guinea has a relatively flat and low-lying topography. The highlands, or the mountainous areas, extend from the west to the southeast. Located here is the highest point, Mount Wilhelm, which stands 4,500 meters, or 15,000 feet, above sea level. Papua New Guinea's climate is hot and humid all year round. There are only 2 seasons, wet and dry seasons. In the lowlands, mean annual maximum temperatures range from about 86 degrees Fahrenheit to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, or 30 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees Celsius, and the minimums are between 73 degrees Fahrenheit and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, or 23 degrees Celsius and 24 degrees Celsius. Papua New Guinea has a population of around 10 million people. It is one of the most ethnically diverse and culturally complex countries in the world. Tok Pisin is the official language, along with English and Hiri Motu. The country officially has the most number of spoken languages in the world, with 840 recorded languages. Although culturally complex, many of the inhabitants are grouped under the umbrella term Melanesian. A majority of them are Protestant Christians, amounting to 65% of the entirety of the population, while 26% are Catholic Christians. Despite the apparent inroads made by introduced religions, much of the population also maintains traditional religious beliefs, and rituals of magic, spells, and sorcery are still widely practiced. The complexity of Papua New Guinea's culture also introduces complexities in its cuisine. Here we have a few dishes to emphasize that complexity and the natural simplicity of the country's food. Let's start with the unambiguous sago, extracted from the sago palm tree. It has the same texture as cassava and tapioca pearls. It can even be used in a variety of other dishes such as pancakes, porridge, and bread. Saksak, another dish made from sago, is also a popular treat. It's a traditional dumpling mixed with mashed bananas and coconut milk steamed in banana leaves. Another dish you can try is fresh kokoda fish, served a la ceviche style. Chunks of the fish are marinated lime juice, coconut milk, sliced onions and fresh herbs, resulting in a tasty snack or meal. Lastly, kaukau is the quintessential Papua New Guinean comfort food. Made by baking sweet potatoes, scooping out the flesh and mixing it with coconut cream, coconut flakes, onion, ginger and garlic. It's truly a delight for the taste buds. Which of these dishes and desserts would you want to try out? Of course, we cannot talk about Papua New Guinea without talking about its prominent figures, people who have shaped the history and who have contributed to the image of the country. Here are some famous people from Papua New Guinea. First off, we have David Gill. A renowned British film historian, he was born in Papua New Guinea in 1928. He was responsible for the restoration of seminal films such as Birth of a Nation and Charlie Chaplin's Gold Rush. Second, the country of Papua New Guinea could not have existed without the leadership of Sir Michael Somare, who was the first Prime Minister of the country and is considered as the founding father of the nation. Next off, for the sports fans, we have Justin Olam, a professional rugby league footballer who plays as a centre for the Papua New Guinea national team. Last but not least, James Marape, the incumbent Prime Minister of the country, who is known for his staunch focus on economic independence and his campaigns on anti-corruption. If you enjoyed this video on Papua New Guinea, you'll love this next one.